Desmond Tutu preached against the tyranny of the white minority and was revered by black and white South Africans alike as the nation's moral conscience. Tutu won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1984 in recognition of his non-violent opposition to white minority rule. And a decade later, he witnessed the end of that regime and chaired a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to unearth the atrocities committed under it. For more on the life and legacy of Desmond Tutu, I'm joined by journalist Darren Taylor, who knew Tutu well and spent time with him during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Darren, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
You spent a lot of time with Tutu. Share with us some of your fondest memories of him.
Well, I met him as a young journalist. I was in my 20s in 1996 when the Truth Commission began in South Africa. And I guess what I'd remember most about the man was his sense of humor and unbelievable ability to bring together people from such diverse backgrounds, whether it was political, whatever. I've witnessed him with racists on one side of the aisle and complete liberals on the other, and he was that sort of person that just got them talking. And I met him on various levels, obviously in his official capacity as the head of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but then also I got to know him personally. In fact, I don't know if many people would know, but he liked a rum and coke now and again, and there were quite a few nights when he would invite me up to his room and we'd share rum and coke and discuss various things that did not revolve around the Truth Commission. But basically, I just remember an amazing human being who, in the 1980s, when the African National Congress leaders were mostly in prison, he held the country together. He held the struggle together. I think he prevented a lot of excesses as well, a lot of human rights abuses that otherwise would have happened, because he was always a moral voice. But at the same time, I never knew the man to preach. Mm-hmm. He always led by his behavior and by his example. And I just remember his unbelievable humanity.
Darren, there's always something known about a public figure because we read about it, but there are other things that we don't know about their public life. You are personal friends. What is that one thing that you would like to share with our viewers that you knew about Tutu that the rest of us don't have a clue?
I think it would basically be the fact that I think he was a bit of a renegade. I know that people call him the rebel priest, but I know also that he was very upset. He was very disappointed by the way South Africa went after the Truth Commission. Not necessarily disappointed in South Africa's people. I think he was deeply disappointed in the African National Congress leadership, in that he saw the corruption and many things that he thought wouldn't be possible in the new South Africa actually happened. The corruption, the political, the selling out of the people, the poverty that has just continued in South Africa, and the inequality. So no, that's not necessarily a good thing to remember about Desmond Tutu. Mm-hmm. But I would definitely say that his sense of justice and fairness. I know that the ANC ended up, they weren't his friends because he spoke truth to power, and he always maintained that he wasn't a political being. He was a moral being. He was someone who cared about people and not necessarily about politicians and political figures. I'll also remember him on a personal level calling me a troublemaker, and I don't think I ever heard him address me by my name, Darren. He would always refer to me as a troublemaker because he remembered one day I came to a Truth Commission hearing dressed in a bandana, and I had my long hair and jeans, etc. And it was at a right-wing hearing, and those people weren't very accommodating or not very accepting of liberals and people such as myself. and they insulted me and spat at me and swore at me, and he just laughed, and from then on he called me a troublemaker. So I guess I'd remember him for that humanity.
Well, he's been called the oasis of peace in South Africa, also the moral compass. Do you think he realized how powerful his words were and how influential they were to the world very quickly?
Yes, he did, but at the same time, there was always a reluctance about him. I remember him in various situations where he really could have milked things and gotten a lot of things personally, which he didn't. So yes, I do think that he knew he was powerful, and I think that mostly he used it for good, and he tried to be fair all the time.